to everyone coming in on joining us so that we can all move forward with the teachings together. Feel free to do that. And we have 3 more contest giveaway winners that are going to be announced today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. So if you want to join us for that virtual access event pass to the Sedona conference, feel free to write your name and the city or country that you are watching this live broadcast from. Our amazing Sedona conference starts on July 31st and goes until August 2nd with the Ascended Masters in the beautiful Sedona Creative Life Center. We, in response to the global crisis that's continuing to do what it's doing, I'll just leave it at that. Please do your research about what's really happening with this crisis. Please, please, please use the spirit of discernment all year long in 2020 as to what's really happening on the media, and of course, always do what's right for you as you are guided in your intuition. But as you are following these protocols and safety precautions of this situation, I'm going to be very careful about what I say. Please do so with a lot of consciousness and awareness about what's really unfolding right now on a global scale. I'm going to just leave it at that. So what I am really, really grateful for is that we're still good to go for our conference in Sedona. Our in-person event ticketing is already sold out. We do have a few seats still open for our VIP Immersive. The VIP Immersive is a curated learning environment, and it's my most powerful leadership training immersive of the year. And I'm just going to share share that for now because we have so much to cover. But I'm so excited and moved that we get to keep doing this conference in July, given everything that's been unfolding all year long. Please keep us in our prayers, and everyone who is attending live in your prayers for our travel safety, and that what's happening in the world will just maintain an equilibrium long enough for us to be able to enjoy making this offering. And I feel like this offering is so important and so powerful. And so far, everything I've seen in prayer and meditation is that this conference is going to happen. And I've been seeing that vision since the beginning of the year. And I channel these live events because they are stargates of quantum healing and higher self upgrades that are meant for our international community and for our spiritual leaders in this movement. And what comes through at those live events is meant to come through then and only then, because we as a collective are moving with the book. We're moving with the mystery school teachings. We're moving with all of the ceremonies that I offer all year long. They all build upon each other. And when so many people gather together at once for 14 hours with the Ascended Masters all weekend long, you are walking into a virtual sanctuary of so much light, so much activation, so much quantum healing energy that it's like completely rebooting your entire system. And the prayer is that these activations, these 8 master sessions of the Sedona conference, are going to really set us up with all of the foundational pieces that we need for the remainder of 2020 and beyond. 2020 is marking a new decade, and it's going to be a very powerful decade of transformation for humanity. And we as lightworkers are at the forefront of assisting humanity's collective consciousness in how to let go of thousands of years of programming, thousands of years of control, and how to step into how to guide humanity's heart into its sovereign divinity, which is the only solution to the extreme global crises that we now face. So I'm so grateful for our mentorship with the Ascended Masters. I know personally I wouldn't be sane without their mentorship and all of the archangels and angels and our direct connection to the source, which I call Sophia, or you could call God or Buddha or Christ consciousness, the Holy Spirit. These are all describing that same consciousness from which we came from, that same holy consciousness that created this world, that gave you the sovereign divinity of your own soul, that gave you your free will to decide what it is that you're going to choose to focus on in this lifetime. And so when we come together for these big events throughout the year, I knew I had a fire under my butt for that Los Angeles conference back in January. And I knew it was in preparation for something coming in 2020 that was going to be very challenging for all of us, but I didn't know it was coming as fast as it was coming in by March. And I'm so, so grateful that that event, we almost canceled it like twice because of circumstances in my own life and with our team. And just, it was weird. Like all the dynamics kept shifting and changing. There's a lot of quantum timeline jumping right now because there's so much at stake for humanity's evolution. And so there's a trying to nail down events right now is just, it's such a journey of mastery. And when we finally really decided upon the right location for that LA event, we had people standing room only in the back of the room because Sophia God and the Ascended Masters were guiding everyone that could make it to be there in person. It was so moving for me to see, and the activations that came through literally took my breath away because I was stunned by the power of the Holy Spirit, the power of the Ascended Masters moving through that whole room, the power of what happens when that many people gather live. And we're going to create something just as powerful this summer for us to receive that same level of blessings and empowerments and activations for navigating the rest of this crazy year. It's like for us, we are light workers and we are awakened and we are ever awakening to how much more knowledge and wisdom and omniscient intelligence and divine solutions that can pour through us from our higher self. But the most people on this planet who haven't been doing their inner work right now in 2020, oh my God, they are losing their marbles in fear and anxiety, and rightly so, because they're being terrorized by these dark agendas, and they don't know that their direct connection to the source can bring them a great deal of peace and a great deal of direction. So one of the reasons why I love to create these in-person events, because I have such a heart for light workers. I have such a heart for spiritual leaders. Like, I know what you're going through every day. I know how strong and faithful you have to be for so many people in your life, at your workplaces, for your family members, for people that you just meet in your daily life, in the grocery store, at the post office, walking down the street. It's like, you are the light of this world. And although that is a beautiful concept, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And my heart goes out to, and a lot of feelings, and my heart goes out to you because I know what that feels like day in and day out. So when we gather together during our conferences and live events, what's happening is you get to take a baptismal bath. You get to take a moment out of time, out of that rigorous light work that you are always so committed to, and you get to deeply drink from other masters that want to bless you, want to bring you the gifts of your own personal healing, to assist your higher self with that, to just spend an uninterrupted amount of time in the presence of God. All teachers, all healers, all creators need that reset. They need the time to recharge. We all need to fill up our cup. And then when we return back to our daily life and return back to giving, we have received so much that there's a whole nother level of our ability to give and serve others. So that's why I always create these live events. It's really exciting to me to be one-on-one with you in person. It's really exciting for me to be able to take your questions live and have that dynamic divine intervention mentor Q&A process. And more than anything, I just get to go into a deeply channeled space for so long that the transmissions and energy that pour through me during those multidimensional ceremonies kind of blows my own hair back. I get to see things that are happening in quantum reality that I don't get to focus on as much day in and day out because I'm so busy running this movement and these businesses and the Sophia Code Foundation. It's a lot. I'm doing so much of that. Actually, I don't get to spend the amount of time I love to channel all day long. So these conferences create space for that for all of us. It's a communion. It's a oracular activism. It's a communion with the source, the Holy Spirit within each of us. And it's an opportunity for us to really let go and receive from all of we're consecrating the Sedona conference to all 8 key codes of the Sophia Dragon tribe. They each wanted to have a master session with you. So, anyways, that's a little bit about what's coming up at the end of this month. I'm really excited about it because for so many reasons, but in that space, I get to go deeper with each of the key codes as well. And that means that we're all going even deeper with the key codes. It's always exciting for me to find out what's going to happen as it's happening in real time. And the topics that we will be covering will be very relevant to navigating the rest of this year and of course the next decade, both for your divine purpose, but also for your day-to-day higher self embodiment practice. We are living in extraordinary times. And so the information that needs to come through to support you really needs to keep happening in the present moment. And so I'm so grateful that I get to be a part of your journey in that way. And I'm so grateful that as we gather together for events such as our Sedona conference at the end of July, that our collective consciousness is literally anchoring so much light on the planet, along co-creating with those vortices in Sedona, so much light and energy coming up from the earth. Coming in and that level of grid work is phenomenal. And I'm also going to be sharing a little bit more during the Sedona conference. I haven't written about this information, but a little bit more about information I've received about Sedona, information that was so important to my heart that it's my prayer to open the first temple for the Sophia Code Foundation in Sedona, Arizona. We'll see what happens because these are such extraordinary times. There's always the mystery that's unfolding, but that is our projected timeline. If these free ministerial offerings, 21 days of Green Tara, 9 days of Magdalene, 9 days of Quan Yin are inspiring you, if they're bringing hope and faith and peace to you in your life and you're wondering how to give back, feel free to pop over to my website, kaia.com, and to make a donation to the Sophia Code Foundation. All funds are going towards building a temple and a Magdalene healing center as soon as we have the appropriate funding, and we've been saving up for it and just letting that letting our prayer expand and grow in a safe place as we begin to sketch out plans. And I'm looking forward to sharing those a little bit more in the summer. But my dream is to build a temple for us that we can pilgrimage to, with stained glass windows to each of the key codes, altars, where we can meditate within this temple. And then there's an adjunct Magdalene Healing Center where Sophia Circles are run, where we do healing work with survivors of rape, domestic violence, and atrocities, and also deprogramming from ritual abuse. So I have a very big prayer for this healing center. It's been in my body, heart, and mind for 20 years, really. But we're getting closer than ever. We've been receiving some incredible donations. My blessings and greatest thanks to our donors and who believe in this ministry and mission. And yeah, I just kind of feel deeply moved in this moment to even share about that. We are making progress, and I couldn't think of a more powerful decade to build a divine feminine Christ temple. It's time. We need it. So with that said, that's a little bit about all of that. Please remember, if you're just joining us live, to put in your name and the city that you're or country that you're watching this live broadcast from. You have to be here at the very end of the live broadcast to find out if you're the winner. We can only pick people who. The contest is that if you're here for the live broadcast by the end and you're selected, then you win. So then, if you're the winner, please email us at contact@kaiara.com so that we can get your details and send you out your virtual event access pass. And yeah, that's a little bit about that. So hi, Marguerite. Hi, Tiffany. Oh, hi, Gina. Hi, Lee. So good to see everyone tuning in. All right, so let's begin with chanting Om Mani Padme Hum to bring us into a space of stillness and receptivity to mentor with Quan Yin today. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. take 3 deep breaths in and out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're all coming online energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, stepping into that deep peace that we resource when we are returning back to the source of who we really are. So at this time, let us invoke our beautiful divine feminine Christ circle of empowerment and sacred light around us. And this is for you to create a circle of light that you can completely feel yourself in the center of this circle. What's fascinating for me as an oracle is witnessing how much we as humans, and I experienced this a lot growing up, how much we feel like we have to give away our energy or let people suck off of our energy or suck off of our life force, because we think it's love, or we think it's going to help them, or we think somehow that's protecting them. And the truth is that you standing in the center of your circle of sovereignty is the most powerful way that you can support others. It's not by trying to do their work for them, because you can't, no matter how hard you try. That's called codependency. The way that we relate to one another through our sovereignty is by standing in the center of our circle of divine feminine and divine masculine Christ light, and choosing to relate to others from that whole unified field of our true self. And from that space within you, you can really know what is your yes and what is your no. You can really know what's the boundary for you and what feels safe and appropriate to let people come in closer to your body, to your heart, to your mind. This is all a part of embodying that Holy Spirit of discernment in 2020. And I deeply encourage you to consider to keep up with this higher self embodiment practice every day of the year. And I love that when we gather live together, that we always practice it, so that it is reinforced in your memory, and as a cellular soul neurological repatterning how essential this is. So let's begin our invocation, visualizing a beautiful circle of white light around you. And that white light is the light of Sophia, okay? It's got that rainbow iridescent glow to it. And as you visualize that circle of light around you, there's going to be 8 directions along that circle. And that's where we call in the 8 revealed key codes from the Sophia Code. And so they're going to stand as pillars of protection, as well as pillars of prosperity, pillars of divine feminine Christ consciousness that wishes you well and wants for you to experience the totality of your sovereign divinity. They're not standing there for you to worship them. They're not standing there for you to placate to them. They're standing there to support you. They're standing there to mentor you. They're standing there on behalf of your own sovereign divinity. So that's a little bit about what's happening there. And so in the North, we always invoke the very powerful holy presence of White Buffalo Woman, who is key code 7 of the Sophia Code. And for those of you who have been mentoring with the Sophia Dragon Tribe, you've been in the Sophia Code Mystery School for quite some time, if you feel comfortable, I invite you in this moment to receive a blessing that could feel like a White Buffalo Woman embracing you in a hug. She's standing in her pillar. You are in the center of your circle, and she's transmitting to you a beautiful embrace. I think this is important for us to feel this energy, because we're all being so isolated, and everyone's being told to stay 6 feet apart from one another, and our I was speaking with a friend the other day, and she was saying, I just miss human. It's just like, I just miss being human with other humans. And I think all of us are feeling that right now, with this continued variations of a lockdown. And so these, our beautiful key code mentors, want you to feel their really warm embrace around you, transmitting that the light body embrace from their heart to your heart. Beautiful. And then also arriving are the White Buffalo Star Nation behind White Buffalo Woman and the Order of Sky Grandmothers. Now, if you turn a little bit to the northeast, you're going to feel how, just in your mind's eye, you don't have to actually keep moving around the circle unless you want to. It's very powerful to stand in the center of your circle as well and face each direction as you call these key code mentors in. In the northeast, we're going to welcome in beautiful winged Isis, who is key code 1 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 names. And behind Isis is arriving the very dashing and handsome Saint Germain of the Violet Flame, as a divine masculine Christ figure, divine masculine ascended master, who is very much involved with activating the sovereign divinity, the liberation, the freedom, that sacred violet flame of freedom and transmutation for our planet. And just feeling the wings of Isis as she sends you her heartfelt embrace. Her wings are extending to sweep through your body, to feel her blessing you, but also lifting up any heaviness or sadness that is, you've been feeling it, but now you may need some help fully releasing it, so you can come into that full communion with your higher self consciousness. Which, by the way, your higher self always exists in a state of bliss and joy. And that doesn't mean that your human experience has to always be in a state of bliss or joy. But when you are ready to move energy, like you've done a grieving process about something, or you felt a lot of anger about something, and you found your resolution, you found your next steps through that healthy experiencing of your emotions. But then you're wondering, okay, now that I've found my resolution, how do I calm myself back down? How do I come back into a regulated place in my neurology and my emotional body? It's by calling in your higher self, because your higher self is always in communion with God, and God is always in a state of divine love, perfect peace, absolute light, bliss, spaciousness. So all of these wonderful qualities, you can download and receive the support to step back into that space when it's appropriate for you. For as we remember, Quan Yin teaches us in the Sophia Code, we don't have to bypass our feeling process. We can have our full experience of our feelings. And we can also, when we've gathered all the information from those emotions and from that feeling experience, we can come into a really empowered place, both with our feelings, with our information, and then how we want to regulate back into that balanced place, that brings us back to that 0 point calibration with our higher self. Like, okay, I've experienced the full spectrum of everything that could be experienced here. And so, in honor of all of your feelings, and all of your wisdom that you are gathering from all of your feelings, Isis's wings are just honoring your higher self embodiment today in the Northeast. And she's also welcoming you to lift your angel wings high. If you've activated that spiritual light body technology, as you do, you may feel your spine straighten a little bit. And for those of you who have not activated your angel wings, not a problem. I have a Activate Your Angel Wings video on my website at kaira.com/activations. And actually, all of those activations there build upon one another. They are downloads of spiritual light body technology that will continue to deepen your integration of all of these spiritual light body technologies. So wings up, angels. And here we go into the east, where beautiful Hathor is arriving. Radiant Hathor with her sky cow horn and her sweet cow ears and her beautiful Syrian. She's showing up in her more Syrian form, but it's also very It's very fluid with her human attributes. She's showing up in a beautiful white dress. Her skin is looking very golden. And the Hathor Star Nation is arriving behind her as that Ophamine angelic order, singing behind her the songs of Sophia, transmitting to you the joy. There is absolute joy, even from the challenging experiences that we are having right now. She teaches us in her chapter 7 that everything we are experiencing this lifetime is ecstatic feedback to your oversoul. I was thinking the other day about this. I thought to myself, man, this life has been so challenging. Between what I experienced in the first half of my life and then what I've had to heal in the second half of my life. And now we're facing a very intense decade of all sorts of global possibilities. And, do I wish that I hadn't come in this lifetime? And I really sat with that question for a moment in my kitchen. And the answer that came back to me was, I'm really happy I'm here, even with how challenging it feels to be here. And even with how challenging 2020 has been, the opportunity to get my hands in the clay and to create a new paradigm, regardless of what is happening outside of me, that's some really exciting work. And it's something that I can look back at over the course of this lifetime and say, yeah, I showed up. We showed up. We all showed up together. And it really reminded me of that Hathor teaching of, wow, all of this, in all of the full spectrum of our feelings, all of the sacrifices and the get to creations that these very extreme times are invoking from us. It's this perfect creative laboratory for our oversoul and our higher self to experience an immense amount of accelerated expansion and self-mastery and wisdom and self-love. So although we may have a lot of hard feelings about 2020, and all of that is absolutely normal, we're also benefiting so greatly from the opportunity to serve at this time and to practice our higher self embodiment in these extreme times, and to practice what it means to be the light in these extreme times. It's Diamonds are made from the pressure of where they are, of their situation before they are unearthed from the earth. And we're all being made into diamonds right now. And with that said, I would love to bring in the diamond vehicle of Green Tara's consciousness here in the Southeast, welcoming Green Tara and the entire order of Dakinis at your circle of light, your Southeast pillar. In the South, we're welcoming beautiful Mother Mary. Mother Mary always arrives showering us in rose petals from it's like there's this sky above her on the inner planes. And today I'm seeing the rose petals are pink. And those light pink rose petals are to honor the gentle spirit that she and Quan Yin are radiating for us to really be able to just drop into how embraced we really are, and feeling that embrace from Mother Mary's arms being transmitted to you. She is giving your soul a big hug right now. I mean, like a big mama bear hug. And as she does, I'm witnessing the order of Dakinis and Green Tara also surround us in this divine mother embrace, where every cell of your being is truly being held in this cosmic hug across the heart waves. I'm also watching Mary Magdalene arrive in the Southwest. Behind her arriving is beautiful Ascended Master Jesus, who is such a exemplary embodiment of divine masculine Christ consciousness with his divine feminine Christ companion, Mary Magdalene. And here we have the Order of Magdalena arriving. These are earth angels, an order of earth angel high priestesses, along with Saint Joan of Arc, arriving in the Southwest. And I'm also welcoming in all of the archangel angelic orders that co-create with the Sophia Dragon Tribe, who are in service to the Sophia Dragon Tribe High Council, including Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Shamuel, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Sandalphon. I'm also giving thanks for the countless divine feminine guardian angels, angels of abundance, the orders of virtues, um, the sacred order of flames, the order of the thrones, all of our guardian angels, all of the angelic orders arriving in the southwest, Syrian archangels, Pleiadian archangels, archangels from Andromeda, and also giving thanks for our Star Nation angelic lineages, our families of light that are our angels from across the cosmos watching over us and protecting us. Key code 999 of the Sophia Code. In the West, we welcome beautiful Quan Yin, she of 1,000 waters, key code 6 of the Sophia Code, who we are on this 9-day journey with, and beautiful, very powerful, her divine masculine twin flame counterpart, Mahavatar Babaji, also arriving in the West. I'm also giving thanks for seeing one of Babaji's profound disciples, Paramahansa Yogananda, arriving in the West in support of Quan Yin's transmission today. I'm so grateful for Paramahansa Yogananda's presence here. He's by far one of my greatest heroes in this lifetime. And finally, in the Northwest, we welcome the holiest of holies, the High Seraphim of Sophia, Sophia's Sacred Heart, the Sophia Dragons arriving in the Southwest. And so in the center of the circle, I now invite you to invoke the full presence of your higher self, I am presence, your Christ light, your own Holy Spirit, to now begin to radiate out from every cell of your body, expanding out to the circumference of your circle, pouring down as a waterfall of light through your crown chakra, flowing over your face, rolling down the back of your head, flowing over your shoulders, down your arms, filling your heart as a sacred chalice, that there's so much of your higher self's Christ light flowing over the chalice. It's running down your back, filling your lower back, filling your solar plexus, your belly, your stomach, cleansing any fear and anxiety. The living waters of your higher self flowing into your sacral chakra, opening up your root chakra to deeply receive your own Holy Spirit, your Holy Spirit, higher self, Christ light flowing down your legs, filling those kneecaps, flowing all the way down your calf muscles into your feet, and flowing as a current, a river of life, connecting you directly to the heart of Mother Earth, flowing as and that waterfall of light flowing from the seventh plane, flowing from the one source, flowing through your physical body, and then flowing all the way down your legs to the very heart of the earth, creates a column of light. A column of light that the more that you visualize this column of light, the more invincible you are to the dark agendas of this world. And what seals that column of light is your golden dragon light body. So for those of you who have downloaded and have been integrating your golden dragon light body, I invite you to visualize those scales of your golden dragon light body rippling in joy, being fed from the living waters of your own oversoul along the circumference of that column of light. And feeling how the dragon's mouth of your golden dragon light body is literally drinking that source light directly from the seventh plane, and how the tail of your golden dragon light body can literally just connect like an anchor right into the heart of Mother Earth. This is a golden age ascension technology light body that has been used in other times on this earth for really incredible and magical empowerment for the human body. And you may even begin to feel your chakras realigning, accelerating in their spin, as that beautiful golden dragon light body is deeply activated by our collective gathering focused on this sanctuary of Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness. And I'm actually witnessing one of the Sophia dragons coming forward and beginning this blessing over your body, heart, and mind, like breathing that crystalline stardust breath of life through your eighth chakra, and just assisting with any fine tuning or integrations for your golden dragon light body. For those of you who are like, what on earth is a golden dragon light body? it's all of that information is located in chapter 13 of the Sophia Code. And I also have a recording of the key code 777 initiation on my website at kaira.com. For those of you who are just arriving, welcome. We're so happy that you're